Gears 6 is a rumored upcoming third-person shooter video game that will be developed by the Coalition and published by Xbox Game Studios. The last entry in the series, Gears 5, was released back in 2019 and became a major hit not only for the series but for Microsoft. A week after the release, Microsoft said Gears 5 was the biggest launch for any Xbox Game Studios game in the Xbox One era. Currently, Gears 5 is still being supported with operations, but fans are already looking ahead at when we should expect another full release for the new current generation Microsoft console. Let's break down what we know about Gears 6 so far, and why you shouldn't expect a game for at least a few years. As always, all the sources will be linked in the description below, so make sure to check those out and support those original writers. And with that out of the way, let's get into Gears 6. The first story I want to cover that relates to Gears 6 has to do with Rod Ferguson. He is a well-known video game producer, and he has worked on every game in the Gears of War series. He also worked on BioShock Infinite and a ton of other projects. He was working with Microsoft on the remastered version of the first Gears game, along with creating the 4th and 5th entries. The reason I'm talking about him in this video is because in February of 2020, it was announced he was leaving the Coalition and the Gears franchise overall to go work with Blizzard on Diablo 4. We don't know what this means for Gears, because he has always been involved in every numbered release up to this point, so it's really too early to speculate, but expect some changes once the game is further in development, and we'll just have to wait and see if we can tell a difference between games he did work on versus games he has not worked on. Then in May of 2021, the Coalition gave an official update on the Gears website titled "The Coalition Moving to Next Gen Development, Unreal Engine 5. The article starts out by discussing how happy the team is using the Unreal Engine to develop the Gears series, and how they are continuing to support Gears 5 with Operations 7 and 8. It is mentioned that the Coalition is now looking at the future games they will be creating, and they are excited to start shifting their resources to next generation development using Unreal Engine 5. And the first paragraph closes out by saying they are using Unreal Engine 5 for multiple new projects in the coming years. Below that first paragraph, they have a subsection called "What does this mean for our current titles?" The first bullet point mentions Operations 7 and 8, and says that new content for Gears 5 will continue through the end of the year, which could mean that all this new content for Gears 5 is coming to an end at the end of 2021, so the team can focus on new games, although this statement is a little vague and they don't definitively say this is the end of new content. The second bullet point says that shifting to a new engine is a big undertaking, so we want to be clear that we will not be announcing any new projects or titles for some time. Which means for anyone who is holding out hope for a surprise Gears 6 announcement at E3 or a Microsoft event should not hold out any hope for any mention of these games. They say directly they will not be announcing anything. Notice also the word here is announcing projects, not even releasing projects. So if the reveal for Gears 6 is still a year or two away, then a release will be even further. And the last point says the studio is hiring for their upcoming projects. I'll close out on a rumor that comes from Jeff Grubb's Game Mesh show. Jeff Grubb, if you don't know, is the editor at GamesBeat, which is a subsection of VentureBeat, and he is often credited with good information when it comes to the games industry. On his show in May of 2021, he was told by one of his community members that we don't need another Gears game, and instead the Coalition should work on a new IP. In response to this, Jeff says that the Coalition is very busy. They are currently helping develop Halo Infinite, and he confirms that they are currently developing the next Gears game as well, but he doesn't directly say it is Gears 6. So we don't know if this will be the confirmed name, although it is likely. And he closes out by saying they are also working on a new IP, have varied greatly. So he doesn't get into specifics because none of them have been confirmed by any of his sources, and he closes out by saying he doesn't know the timeline of this new IP or the new Gears game either. Obviously, Halo Infinite is going to be released first, but the next 2 releases are up in the air and both are years away. He says the new IP could technically come before the new Gears game, but he just isn't sure.
Here's a good one to end on. Okay. We don't need another Gears. I think they need to work on a new IP. So I can't remember if I mentioned this last week, but probably not. I feel like I kind of learned this in the last week or so. Gears Studio, the Coalition, is busy. They are working on Halo. They're helping with Halo Infinite. That is one of the big projects that Coalition is contributing to in a major way. Coalition is also, of course, making the next Gears game. That's just, of course, they're going to do that. But the Coalition is also working on a third thing, and it likely is a new IP. Now, I've heard rumors that it could be a Star Wars thing from out of the Coalition, but I haven't been able to confirm that. And these are rumors that are kicked around in a few different places, and so it's hard to track down. But basically, I'm not putting any money on that. I would love to see that. I think that'd be a great surprise, but I don't know for sure. But the Coalition is working on a third thing, and so we'll see what that turns into. It's probably still quite a ways off. Whether or not that comes out before the next Gears, I don't know. Maybe it's just in a prototype phase, but they are considering something new. So, and I would love to see that. It's a talented studio, and I just happen to not jive with Gears very well. I'm not. It's not my thing. So I'd love to see what else they could do. Excuse me. And then, if it is a Star Wars, even better, because I love Star Wars.
As always, take all these leaks and rumors with a grain of salt, but Jeff is a reliable source, and I tend to believe that the Coalition has started work on Gears 6, even if the information isn't publicly available yet. So where does that leave us? Well, Gears lost a major producer that has been a constant throughout the series since its inception, which is definitely going to change the development process. But hopefully they've made so many of these games now where fresh eyes could change the title for the better. Also, the studio has been very transparent to not expect anything, that they are just starting work on a lot of this and working with a new engine, all of which take time, so don't expect anything at E3 or any of these soon events. And then also we get it confirmed that the game is being worked on, if you want to believe these rumors from Jeff Grubb, and that depending on this timeline, it could either be this new IP from the Coalition first, and if that does happen, know that Gears is still being worked on, or the reverse of that. So if you are excited about this new IP but not Gears, know that they are both still coming. Either way, that's where I'm going to end this video. Make sure to like and share, subscribe for weekly gaming news, and I will see you guys in the next one.